Greetings. This is a Spiritual World Productions, hosted by Aleph and Omega Church, bringing you a Sunday Bible session where we discuss, annotate, and proclaim the scriptures. If you should have any comments or questions concerning the subject of the study in which you have heard, please feel free to contribute via Facebook, YouTube, or visit us at our website at alephandomega.org. We thank you in advance for lending your ear, time, patience, and consideration to receive from this study. We humbly ask that upon your reception, you receive from this study prayerfully. Therefore, let us begin with a word of prayer.
Let's bow our heads in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time and this opportunity to come before you once again, Father, to render this session, Father, under the topology of the tithes. Father, we thank you for blessing us, Father, with this lesson. We thank you for blessing this cast. We ask that you touch every heart and mind, Father, that is represented here on today. Father, we thank you for sending your son, Yahuah Mashiach, to die on the cross for our sin, to die, to be buried, and be raised with all power in his hands, Father. Now subjecting all things up under his feet. Father, we ask that you allow this cast, Father, to touch every heart, soul, and mind, to whom you will, Father, and to whom you allow it to go out to, Father. And these and other blessings we ask your son, Yahuah Mashiach's name, Father. We ask that you allow the Ruach HaKodesh, Father, to overwhelm this session, Father, to teach us as we teach others. These and other blessings we ask in your son, Yahuah Mashiach's name. Amen.
Amen.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I am Minister Jonathan Ray, pastor of the Aleph and Omega Church, here with my fellow heirs,
Angel, Adrian,
and we are coming to you today with part 2 of our last cast. It was a pretty good cast. I really had a wonderful time with that. Both the heirs came with their nice solemn breakdown of the question that we had under this subject, which is, if we have a consequence for not paying taxes to men, why would there not be a consequence for not giving the tithes that are God's? If we have a consequence for not paying taxes to men, why would there not be a consequence for not giving the taxes that are otherwise? So, we have, though, and I must give a solemn disclaimer. Parental, what's that? How do they go? Parental expression? Parental discretion. Thank you.
Is advised.
Parental discretion is advised on this segment. You will hear some foul language out of one of these video examples. However, I had to use it because it is a very, very perfect example of the breakdown of the system that we live under, of inquiring our taxes and where we stand when it comes to the whole system or the systematized methodology of being taxed in the U.S. of A. Here's the we have 2 clips, right? 2 clips. And so they are off TikTok. I believe I explained why I use TikTok a lot. And so here are the videos.
Congratulations on paying off your house.
Thank you. I finally own my home.
I love that for you. Now pay property taxes.
Wait. For what?
For owning the home.
But I already paid for the home.
Yes. That was for the structure.
And the land?
That's rented.
For who?
Us.
For how long?
Forever.
And if I stop paying?
We take the house.
But I bought it.
Correct. And now you maintain it for us.
So this is renting.
No. This is home ownership.
So what did I actually buy?
A lifetime subscription with surprise price increases.
And what do I get with that?
The privilege of not being evicted this year.
Love it. 5 stars.
So you gonna take 40% of my paycheck in taxes? Most definitely. And then after you tax my check, you gonna tax me on anything I spend with the money left from my check that you already taxed. Oh, you getting it now? You this close. You this close to getting ready to chase the American dream. So let me get this shit straight. Bitch, you gonna tax my whole check. Give me what's left. Then I'm gonna spend that on something. And you're gonna tax me again for spending money that was already taxed. And after I buy something, I have to pay taxes on that. Or else you're gonna take it from me because I didn't pay taxes. Yes, and if you do that real hard and just pull up on your bootstraps with all your might, you will make it in this country. Bro, that sounds like some fucking bullshit. If I gotta pay taxes on anything that exists forever, anytime, always, every day, or else I fucking get my shit took or go to prison, do I own anything? No, y'all don't own shit. It's just a big lending system. We own everything and we just sell you the illusion that you got something. You don't have shit. Miss a tax payment, I'm taking that shit. Miss another one, I'm taking your fucking life. You're going to prison. Don't like it? Leave.
So, quick question. I don't mean this sound racist, but why do Mexicans want to come here?
Because they want to embark on the American dream like everybody else.
And you have to think about, the things that they go through over there. They have to deal with the cartel and different things. So it's the same crap. It's just a different place.
Now, granted, though, there are some places that have it worse off than America because a lot of these places don't have a system, you know what I'm saying? Then they have a lot of their governments that are ran off pure crime-ridden systems, they don't have the kind of system that America created. Even though America government is heavily associated with the crime that's around the world. You understand? This war being one of the reasons for the engagement. You understand? So, because you have two people fighting over land that's not theirs. You know what I'm saying? So that's criminal within it of itself, and that's just giving the full dichotomy of the reason why there's a conflict when there shouldn't even be one, and the reason why they're trying to invoke a World War III. You understand? When at this time there doesn't have to be one. You understand? But as I said before, the reason why is not because of the conflict itself, but because of the truth. And the truth that's been fostered, especially by Netanyahu. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was trying to think of his name real quick, and that was the first thing that came about. Netanyahu, who exposed the artifact of the Yasharal being black, according to an ancient artifact that they've held in their safe for a long time, and they held it purposely. They locked it up. You put stuff in a safe intentionally. You know what I'm saying? You put stuff in a vault. That's all the vault is, a safe. You know what I'm saying? You put stuff in a vault intentionally. You know what I'm saying? For a specific use, for a specific time. You understand?
For a specific people.
For a specific reason. Right? Because the idea, they don't care about us. They don't care about the artifact, but everybody else do.
Right.
We, at least we're supposed to care about the truth, but most folks these days don't even care about the truth. Right. So the idea is the systems that are in place, as you can see, are not systems that Yahuah created. Because if it were, then there wouldn't be wars. There wouldn't be all this calamity and catastrophe as we see today, and all this chaos that we see today. It's supposed to get worse, right? It's supposed to get worse because of the anti-Mashiach. It's supposed to get worse for the actual Mashiachs coming. You understand? Because Mashiach has to plead with his people, and he has to plead to the people. I'm sorry, I take that back. Because he's pleading with his people now, right? But when he comes, he's going to plead on behalf of his people to let it's the same Exodus, right? To let them go so that they can come with Yahuah, or they can worship Yahuah in the correct form and the manner in which Yahuah created for his people.
And it was so interesting about this whole thing and finding those videos. And mind you, it's more videos.
It's a lot more.
That tell the truth. But these people, no matter, they'll hear this, they'll go and look at their paychecks. They'll see what was said in this cast.
Right.
They'll go to the store and see.
It'll make them reflect.
Everything will be in their face, and guess what?
They will still. That's right.
Sit up and say, "Well, why do I have to? I shouldn't have to pay no tithes because God is this and God is that." But you still uphold this government, this system that's taken from you every single day. So the money that you're making ain't even your damn money.
It's the people that understand how money works, and I know people, a lot of people, especially investors and people that deals in finances. They say, well, you have to learn the system to understand how money works. This is how money works. As you just said, it's not your money. Money are promissory notes, and they're typically IOUs, which means that once it come to my hands, I owe it back to who it came from. It is the so-called jury's system. I say the so-called jury's system. We're talking about the fake Jews. They're the ones that came up with this system. They're the ones that put this system in place. Some people will beg to differ, but all you have to do is do the research. It always point back to them. You understand? The idea is it is the system that was created by Hasatan himself. Hasatan put this system in place. And people don't know that the people that's walking around in human bodysuits, they're the ones that push the system. They got the idea from Hasatan. It's already been said that the certain members of the Rothschilds take direct instructions from Hasatan. They talk to him. You understand? But we call this stuff conspiracy theory.
And see, the other thing is, look at this age the digital age.
Exactly.
Right? Now, Angel introduced me to Leverage, the TV show.
Right.
And so many times have we seen where they're moving money, they're taking money, they're making money disappear by a push of a button. If I allow you to have tangible money, then I can't make it disappear. I can't control it.
Exactly.
So everybody that's, dipping into this cryptocurrency and all of this stuff, in a blink of an eye,
it can all be taken away.
It can all be taken away, and you have no proof, and you have no say-so over nothing.
Exactly, and that's the whole point of the beast system, and that's the whole point of them introducing the mark of the beast, so that, especially when it comes to these FRID chips, that some people are already getting. You know what I'm saying? Some people are already getting the implantation, and they talking about how great they feel and all this other stuff, but not experiencing the downside. And they're only saying how great they feel just to push other people to get it as well. They said, I think they had like 10,000 people already in line to get the implant. And so they want to present it as something so good, so well needed, and so extravagant that you'll be able to do all these extraordinary things. But they won't give you the downside until after, just like any propaganda, after all the damage is done, that's when they're gonna start giving you the downside. If you don't do this, pop. If you don't say what you're gonna say, or we heard you saying something, so we're gonna exterminate your chip, and that exterminate your chip would literally mean the extermination of the person themselves. Or they probably have it like on Kingsman, where they had those folks' heads explode, or the chip explode in the body, or like what's that? Mission Impossible 3, where they had that the chip inside, explode inside their mind and make the eyeball pop out. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like this. And so they show this stuff in plain sight. You know what I'm saying? They just present it as entertainment. But all this, the whole Jetsons scenery or whatever, this is what they're trying to forward into society. You know what I'm saying? Everything digital, everything quantum mechanic, right?
Because people don't realize if you go into, I don't know if anybody remembers the Silicon Valley thing with the banks. Yeah. People were trying to go and pull their money out, $250,000,
right,
$100,000.
Right.
They couldn't.
Right.
They couldn't.
Right.
If you go to a bank, say you have $20,000 in there, you go into the bank, you say, I want to withdraw my $20,000. You could have deposited it in cash.
Right.
First thing they're going to ask you is why.
Yep.
Why do you want your money?
Safeguard.
Then they're going to say...
Security measure.
It's all a security measure. Then they're going to say, well, it will be safer for you to get it in the cashier's check.
Right.
All trying to evade from giving you that cash. You say, no, I want my $20,000. Some banks will say, well, we will have to schedule a time for you to come and get it.
Right.
Because we don't have that money here.
Right. And sometimes they don't, though.
We can't give that to
you. Right. Sometimes they don't because they don't load it out to somebody else.
Depending on how much it is, you have to sign a document.
Right.
Saying that you're taking all of this. So why do we have to do all this for money? Oh, and if you're taking out $10,000 or you bringing in $10,000, there's a report that has to be done to send to the IRS.
Right.
Why? This is your money.
Exactly.
Or it's supposed to be your money.
As the videos just explain. You understand? So the idea, and I tell people this at work too, it's like it's not our money. It's an IOU. It's a promissory note to give to the person. And that's why a lot of them sit up and burn the monies that they make. You understand? Even though they pay people to make it. You understand? And so I believe not too long ago I was talking about a report about how America has mass produced their dollars now, and this is why the value of the dollar of America is dropped, because we have so many dollars that's out there but it's not being accounted for. I have so many dollars circulating but it's not being accounted for, so therefore they made it too common. You understand? Therefore the value of the dollar can't be as high as it was. You see what I'm saying? Because now it's too accessible. You understand? And so a lot of people, especially us Negroes, we don't take things like this under consideration. And this is how they're going to bankrupt or plummet America's economic system. You understand? If America's economic system is plummeted, then you can very well know that America is going to turn into a third world country just like that.
Because they got rid of the pennies.
Exactly.
And
watch this. The coins is America's actual money system, right? And they doing away with that so that you can depend on the dollar, right? And all this stuff is already in place. Depend on the dollar. So once you take the dollar, right, now we got this digital thing that's gonna creep up on y'all, and you're gonna have to rely on that, right? Not knowing that this coin system is America's actual currency base.
Because it's valuable.
Exactly. Well, they have it in law. You understand? It's already coded in law that these coins were the way that America transacted handled their monetary transactions or whatever. So, let me go ahead and get into this thing. So the idea is that these videos basically expose how we won't stand against the tyranny of the taxes that man put on us, right? but we have a complaint about the mercy that Yah put on his people about his 10%. Then have the so-called people, Christians, to go against Yah, right? To go against what his words say, make excuses about what his words say, about how they don't have to do what Yah said. How is that going to look in heaven? I wonder how. You understand? Why you ain't doing my word say? Well, because you said in your word that we was supposed to give out of a cheerful heart. How come you ain't give my tithes out of a cheerful heart? Well, it was the teaching of the people. What?
No, it was the teacher that you gave me. It was the pastor that you gave me.
Can you imagine folks in heaven trying to blame the Most High, the creator of all things, the knower of all thoughts, of how you going to try to blame him for something he implemented that you chose not to do? That's interesting. That's interesting.
Just like Israel and Sarah. Was it Solomon?
Solomon, what?
What did they say?
Where they asked for a king?
Oh, yeah. That was Saul. That was Saul and Samuel. And Samuel's telling them, well, your king is going to do this. Your king's going to do that. He's going to send your men out to war. And typically, take your kid, but turn your women into confectionaries. And that means that, for those that don't understand, that just means he was just going to just lay with them just because, and then send them on their way. Pretty much make them they hoes. You know what I'm saying?
The movie we was watching.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing, because we were allowed to have wives and concubines. People don't understand this. We was allowed to have wives and concubines. And the thing is about the men with the wives and concubines, the men still had to take. If I get 5 wives and I wanted some concubines, I still got to take care of all of them. Yah did not. That's why he told Hagar. He told Hagar, go back, because you and that boy need to be taken care of. Go back to the camp so you can be taken care of. Don't be out here in the wilderness by yourself, because you won't be able to take care of yourself. Plus, I got something for him. Plus, that's his son. Take him back to his daddy. Take him back to his daddy. You know what I'm saying? He need his father. So let's get in this thing, because I know let's see, 21 minutes. All right. So let's see what we can unfold here. So again, the reiteration of the question: I'm sorry. Did y'all have anything?
I brought the videos.
Okay.
That was my contribution.
You said what?
I'll just add lib.
Okay. Cool. So again, the reiteration of the subtopic is if we have a consequence for not paying taxes to men, why would there be? I'm sorry, let me start that over. If we have a consequence for not paying taxes to men, why would there not be a consequence for not giving the tithes that are otherwise? The reasons why someone thinks or feels there would not be a consequence for not giving the tithes that are Yahuah's is because, 1, they don't believe Yahuah in the scriptures. 2, they have a misunderstanding of the socio-political and the socio-economical tone of the people of the book, especially in the NT. 3, they don't understand the mind of Yahuah by way of condescending his mind to their cognition. 4, they don't understand the relationship between them, the tithes, and Yahuah. 5, they don't understand the importance of the tithes itself. 6, they don't fear, parenthetically, or reverence Yahuah, Ecclesiasticus 5:15-18. 7, they are the children of disobedience, Ephesians 2:1-3. 8, they don't understand the meaning of consequences and how it works. So to reiterate what Sister Ray's definition of what consequence was. So a consequence is a result, effect, or outcome of a previous action, decision, or situation. While it initiates an event, the consequence is the event that follows. A consequence is a generalized matter, even though it is commonly used when it comes to an action, decision, situation that only yields bad results. You see that? So they added in there how it is used out of context, which is only for bad results, but it is a general term for both the bad and good results. So we are not careful, once again, to use, because I think I stated this on the last cast. So we are careful not to use this question to equate the thoughts of the Most High with man's thoughts, to provoke a result from the Most High as with the result from man. This is where the scriptures rightfully say that the thoughts of the Most High is higher than the thoughts of man. Isaiah 55, 8 through 9. First Maccabees, chapter 1, 11 through 13 says, in those days there went out of Israel, or Yasharal, wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. Same thing they did when they left, when they exodus out of Egypt. And so he said, so this device pleased them well. Certain of the people were so froward. I had forward in my sermon when I use that too. It's supposed to be froward. Herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. Matthew 22:21 says, they say unto him, Caesar's. And then said he unto them, render therefore unto Caesar's the things that are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's. Now people use this out of context too, but when you read the context, it is specifically let you know that quote was particularly about and exclusively about money. About money, because the Pharisees tried to catch Yahushua up in what I believe they asked him whose subscription is on here. Basically, who does this belong to? Since, okay, here's what their motive was. Hey, Yahushua, who does this belong to, since its inscription is on the coin? Who would this monies be if the inscription is on the coin? And say, Yahushua let him know. Well, here's the thing. His inscription is on the coin out of tribute to him. So if that's the case, since he's in authority at this time, go ahead and give it to him. But Yah created everything. Everything is Yah's, including you. Therefore, you give to Caesar what's his, but give Yah's what's his. You see what I'm saying? But we take this out of context. And oh no, it just means that you're supposed to give Caesar's what's Caesar's, but give God, just give to him out of a pure heart. You don't have to really give him anything. Just make sure your heart is pure.
But then if we go off of that premise,
go ahead, you got it.
Abraham Lincoln's picture is on the penny, so
right.
Do we
give to Abraham Lincoln
his body up or open up his casket?
Oh, do we go to it? Do we make a whole giant bowl at the Lincoln Monument and throw all his pennies on to give tribute to him?
Right.
They can clone him.
Do we give Jackson,
Grant,
Washington, Adams? Who else is on there?
Grant, Ulysses
Grant
is on the 50.
What about who on the nickel? Who's that on the nickel?
George?
Is that George?
I don't know.
I think that's George Washington.
Yeah, okay. So the point still stands, right? Now that's probably why they put him on after it was dead, so you don't have to give him the tribute. So they put the head on it. That's crazy.
We go. There's supposed to be some. The current president, I think, is supposed to be some currency with his face on it.
They was talking about putting Obama on something too. But whatever. So this scripture typically deals with the disposition of ancient Rome's taxation. Mm-hmm. You understand? And that's also why Yahushua brought that to their attention. If that's what's supposed to be paid to the ruling power, pay it to the ruling power. Why? Because he knew that everything was going to pay him. Mm-hmm. Everybody and everything was supposed to pay him tribute. You understand? Whether they was of the kingdom or not. Because how do we know this? Because the scripture told us that every knee should bow and every tongue would confess, whether it was of Yahshua or Yahuah or not. You understand? So the idea is Yahushua understood the plight of authority, right? And I don't mean plight in the bad or loose way. I mean plight in a strict way, right? Mm-hmm. There's a strictness when it comes to authority and knowing about authority, knowing how authority works. You understand? So Yahushua was letting it be known. Look, I'm not going to cross this authority because y'all allowed it. Right? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to come against this authority, even despite what the people may have thought, because that's why some of us rejected him, because at the time they thought he was going to come overthrow the whole Roman Empire, and that's not what he was for. He came to prepare us for his kingdom, right? He came to prepare us for his kingdom. Mm-hmm. You got to get your mind right.
Yep.
He didn't come to prepare us for Christianity, something that they put in place. He didn't come and make Christianity the authority for his kingdom, something that they put in place. He didn't do that. He didn't do that. So in ancient Rome, tax evasion. I'm just still tempted to say evasion. So in
you still said it.
Tax evasion. Due process. What's his name? Peoples. Yeah, that's right. In ancient Rome, tax evasion was considered a severe crime, right? Mm-hmm. A severe crime. This is during the time of Yahushua, and an act of rebellion, right? And so Yahushua fulfilled the scripture that was to come after, or the Apostle Paul gave that notation based upon the attitude Yahushua had towards the current government. Because watch this, just like people call it white supremacy today, mm-hmm. It was the same then, right? They was under the same rule then, right? And so Yahushua said, look, for the meantime, give him what's his. Give him his tribute. You know what I'm saying? If he the ruling power now, give him his tribute. Do his thing. Let him do his thing. Because when our turn comes, guess what? The role's gonna be flipped. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The roles, and that's what many folks don't. That's talking about this white supremacy stuff and overthrowing the government and overthrowing white folks and all this other stuff. That's why they don't understand. Like, the roles is gonna literally be flipped. Mm-hmm. So the idea is, and the scripture says, if they don't serve you like you serve them, guess what's gonna happen to them? Mm-hmm. The same thing that happened to you. Mm-hmm. So let's not play games, right. And let's not make it seem like, he's all loving and it's just gonna be blissful, just kindness and happy, and we just gonna be galloping through the tulips.
Not galloping,
like do 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 do. That's what they think, and that's what's been created. Why? Because they had to create that thought process for themselves and superinduce it on you. Why? Because once it happened to them, remember how we treated you? Yes, you killed my forefathers.
Well, it's just like they had to paint the picture that it's going to be a party in hell so that people don't have no problem with sinning.
Thank you.
Because hell ain't going to be that bad.
And that's why they have the majority of our rappers to promote that mess, to send us, not them. Why not them? Because they know they already going. They know it's for them.
And they know they not the people.
I'm just saying. So Romans who failed to pay taxes. And when they say Romans, it's not just talking about Romans. It's mostly talking about the slaves. Mm-hmm. So because they weren't killing off their people like that. You understand? So the Romans who failed to pay taxes faced brutal consequences, including heavy fines, property confiscation, enslavement, you understand? Or forced labor in state-run mines. In extreme cases, it resulted in execution. Now, here's the thing. There's stuff that they leaving out big time. Mm-hmm. And there were attitudes behind this, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why Matthew was hated, because he was a tax collector, right? And we don't know how brutal he may have been to his own people, right? So to go from that to those previously mentioned to straight execution, no, that's you leaving some stuff out. You know what I'm saying? How the folks was treated. You understand? Especially when it comes to the Hebrews that were in Rome. Mm-hmm. The Hellenized Jews, or so-called Jews that were Greek, because they weren't called Jews. I said that why. Violent extortion, and this is where we get into Matthew. Turn to Matthew 9:9 and Mark 2:14. During the Republic, the Roman state used private tax collectors called publicani, because these contractors had to pay the government up front. They frequently over-collected and used aggressive mercenaries to seize assets. That's some of the parts they were leaving out. That's not all.
What did you say? Go.
Matthew 9:9 and Mark 4:14. Hold on, wait.
14.
Yeah, you got it. And so sometimes violently assaulting family members in the process. See that? Drastic fines, asset confiscation, enslavement in labor camps. Citizens who could not pay were stripped of their rights and sent to work in state-run mines. A near-death sentence due to terrible conditions. Non-citizens could be sold into cattle or chattel slavery. I think it's cattle slavery. You got it?
Mark 4:14.
2:14.
2:14.
Yeah. Americans who failed to pay their taxes. Now we jump to America on this one. Now, Americans who failed to pay their... Now, wait. Go ahead and hit Matthew 9:9.
Matthew 9:9. And as Yahushua passed forth from thence, he saw a man named Matthew, and sitting at the receipt of custom, and he said unto him, Follow me. And he arose and followed him.
Go ahead with Mark 2:14.
And as he passed by, he saw Levi, the son of Kelpha, sitting at the receipt of custom, and said unto him, Follow me. And he arose and followed him.
So that solidified how they hired Hebrews to do that to their own people. Somewhat similar to what's going on today, how they hire black folks to do a thing, to be gatekeepers. Because that's what they were. They were gatekeepers to the community's finances, because that's how they kept track with what the Hebrews were bringing in to the Roman Empire. You see what I'm saying? So, American taxes. Americans who fail to pay their taxes face severe civil and criminal penalties from the IRS, including steep fines, property seizures, and potential imprisonment. Tax evasion is a felony that can lead to up to 5 years in prison, while simply failing to file a return is a misdemeanor. How much federal, state, city, I won't get into that. Well, yes, I will. How much federal and state and city tax do we pay? Federally, the federal government collects roughly $4.9 trillion in annual revenue, which equals about 20% of the U.S. domestic gross domestic product, or the GDP. The amount a citizen pays varies heavily based on income, filing status, and deductions, but the system is progressive, meaning higher earners pay a larger percentage of their federal income. And that's a doggone lie, because they just did one where they said Elon Musk didn't have to pay nothing. Mm-hmm. So that federal revenue is primarily collected through three main categories. One, individual income taxes. Let's see how it works. This is a graduated tax system where different portions of your income are taxed at different rates. The federal government has 7 marginal tax brackets: 10%, 12%, 22%, 24%, 32%, 35%, and 37%. What you actually pay because of deductions and standard exemptions, your average effective tax rate is much lower than the top marginal bracket you hit. For example, the average individual income tax rate hovers around 14.5%. Taxpayers in the bottom half of the earners face a average rate of roughly 3.7%, while the top 1% pays an average closer to 26%. Average state tax burden by state. The actual amount a citizen pays relies on their taxes, a state's tax burden. The percentage of total personal income paid towards state and local taxes. Nationwide, the overall state tax burden averages around 10%, 11% of income, with notable variations across the country. Highest tax burdens states that like New York and Connecticut lead the nation, with residents paying over 15% of their income toward state and local taxes. Lowest tax burdens like Alaska, Wyoming, and Tennessee have the lowest tax overall burden, sometimes under 5% and 8%. Income and sales tax. State tax amounts depend on the combination of taxes levied where you live. State income tax, the average American pays around $1,300, roughly $1,400 in state income tax. However, at least 9 states do not collect personal income tax, e.g. Alaska, Florida, Nevada, Tennessee, Texas. Other states charge either a flat rate like Michigan's 4.25% or a progressive rate such as California, which goes up to 13.3%. Local income earnings or local income / earning taxes. While many citizens do not pay these, certain cities levy an income or earnings tax on residents and sometimes workers. Rates are usually flat, percentages ranging from 0.5% to over 3%. Notable examples include Detroit, 2.4%, St. Louis, 1%, and New York City, which ranges from 3.078% to 3.867%. what happens if you don't pay federal taxes and city taxes. According to the IRS.gov, failing to pay federal, state, and city taxes triggers compounding penalties, heavy daily interest, and aggressive collection actions, escalating from wage garnishment and property liens to bank account seizures and even criminal persecution in severe fraudulent cases. You cannot go to jail simply because you do not have the money to pay your taxes. The government considers unpaid tax debt to be a civil issue, and the IRS prioritizes collecting what you owe through penalties, interest, and payment plans over putting people in prison. Basically, they want their money. However, you can go to federal prison for tax evasion or willful failure to pay. Yahusha's authority is higher than the government's. That's one thing we need to understand. So when we talk about the laws of the land, and then we compare it to the laws of Yah, and we look at how much of the laws of the lands are derivatives of the laws of Yah, but some are finagled and manipulated to suit certain groups, not necessarily my own minority, but selective. I just leave it like that. Isaiah 55:8-11. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways your ways, saith Yahuah. For that as high as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. For as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth and make it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. You see that? Mm-hmm. That it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. Right? One that plants, the one that receives, one that gives, one that receives, one that works, one that consumes, right? So that the cycle can continue, right? Because that's how money, so-called money, or things of value is supposed to go. It's supposed to circulate, right? All money is doing now is operating in a U shape, right? It's operating in a U shape. Come from the person, go back to the person. Mm-hmm. Then what they do, they throw it in a huge fireplace, right? That taxpayer pays for, right? So it says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. So why is there a problem when Yahushua say, give to Yahuah what is Yahuah's? Matthew 22:21. When he said it in Malachi 3:8-10, will a man rob Yahuah? Yet rob me, said Yahuah. But you say, wherein have we robbed thee? Ain't that how we do? Mm-hmm. Y'all robbing me. Why you say we robbing you, God? And no, these words may not come out of the majority of folks' mouths, but you say it in your actions. Mm-hmm. You say it in not doing it after he told you to do it. You understand? You said, wherein have we robbed thee? He said specifically, in tithes and in offering. Oh, you mean just offering? No. In tithes and in offering. Oh, you mean in free will giving? No. In tithes and an offering. Oh, I thought all we just had to do is just give to the poor. No. He said in your tithes and offering. Oh, but what you mean with the pastor I be stealing all the church money? He said no. In your tithes and your offering. Well, I don't be giving because I can't trust these pastors out here. He said, I don't give a devil about that. He said, you still robbing me. But in your tithes and your offering. because I gave out of a grudging heart? No. In your tithes and your offering. You want to receive the blessing part, but you don't want to receive the next part. Where he said, and you are cursed with a curse, for you have robbed me, even this whole nation. You mean Christianity? No. The whole nation. You mean the United States of America? No. The whole nation. You mean Europe, London, Africa? No. The whole nation. You mean Rome? No. The whole doggone nation. What nation you talking about? The whole nation of Yahshua. Y'all, just y'all. I told you to give your tithes. I ain't tell them to get their tithes. I told you. Like a father told his kids. And then the friend want to come along. Are you talking to me too? Take your behind back home. Anybody talking to you? Matter of fact, don't you come over tomorrow either. Ever. I'm talking to her. That's my daughter. That's my son. I'm talking to them. I said them. Where'd you come from? I just heard what you said. Take your behind home. I'm talking to them. I said they robbing me from tithes and offering. But I can give it too. I ain't asked you to give it. I ain't tell you to give it. I'm talking to them. Take your behind back home.
Why are you here again?
What? Where you come from? I'm talking to my kids. My kid ain't talking. You Osiris's child. I ain't talking to you. You Diana's daughter. I ain't talking to you. You Zeus's son. I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to my kids. Go on about your business. Ain't nobody talking to you. He said the whole nation, right? He said, now, I ain't gonna tell y'all no more. Bring ye. Oh, y'all laughing too much. I'm trying to flow with it now. He said, I ain't gonna tell y'all, man. Bring ye all the tithes. Do what I told you. Bring ye all the tithes to the storehouse, that there may be meat in my house. And it's not talking about cow meat.
Hamburgers.
He ain't telling you to bring no hamburgers to the storehouse. He ain't tell you to bring no devilish steak to the storehouse. He ain't even tell you to bring no lamb chops. He ain't tell you to bring no goat leg. He ain't tell you none of that. He said that there may be meat in my house. What's meat? Substance. Things that help sustain the house. What I'm gonna do with some meat that's gonna spoil the next day?
That's right.
Why would I want you to store that? You don't have a refrigerator.
Hold on, they forgot how when he sent the manna, he said only take what you needed.
Take what you need for the day. If you store it, it's gonna go bad on you, turn to worms.
People that wanted to be greedy.
Yep.
What happened?
They went in their bag the next day and saw them doggone worms. What's the message? Do what I told you to do. That's how you win. What did Joshua tell them? He said, this book of the law
shall not depart out of thy mouth,
but I shall meditate therein
day and night,
that thou mayest observe to do some of what's in it.
Not some of it, all.
No. To play dumb when it came to the instructions. No. He only said do the little bit that's in it. No. Wait. He said only do what's according to grace.
No. Not what he said.
He said do according to all that is written
therein
in it, that thou mayest prosper.
And people will not see how everything about the tithes is to help us prosper. And we combat against that. But everything about taxes is for our demise, and we don't combat.
We uplift that. We uphold that. We say, oh, that's right. And what I say, it was substance to help sustain. Sustain who? The house. house. Who was Yasharal and Yahuah? The children who was in the house. What house was they in? The pavilion, in the secret of his tabernacle. Every time they step out of the pavilion, they got in trouble. That's why they kept going into slavery like the prodigal. Oh boy. Prove me now, herewith, said Yahuah of hosts, if I were not open you the windows of heaven, pour you out a blessing that you shall not have room enough to receive it. Hold on. We can receive blessing without this, though. That's what he said. We can receive the blessings without this. Or if we used it, or we receive the blessing but not the curse. Because Yahushua took the curse upon the cross. He took the curse upon the cross. So therefore, if I sin or if I don't do it, I still won't be cursed because that part is exempt. I'll exempt myself from the curse. You know what I'm saying? But they don't know about the hands of destruction, do they, Sister Elder?
Ooh, let's talk.
They don't know about the hands of destruction.
Can't even name names.
You see what I'm saying? I know it personally. The verse give us a dichotomy of consequences. One, being cursed with the curse, and two, having opened the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that you shall not have room enough to receive. Those are the two dichotomies. Those are the two things that will happen. Those are the two consequences. If you do or if you don't, you can't change the consequence. It's a universal law. It is a law that won't be broken. Just like where Yahushua said, honor your father and your mother, that thy days may be long. This is the commandment with promise, which means that it's going to do what it's going to do whether you do it or not. There are two results, i.e. consequence, that Yahuah said would happen whether you choose to give or not to give the tithes. And yet, with all of our tenacity, right, we say that the consequences can be negated because we are not under the old covenant or the law of Moses. It is also surmised that because one of the results of being cursed with a curse is disannulled or canceled because of the grace that comes from the cost of the death, burial, and resurrection paid by Mashiach. Malachi 3:13-18. Your words have been stout against me, said Yahuah. Yet you say, what have ye spoken against me? What have we spoken much? Oh no, they said, what have we spoken so much against thee? That's where it is. So, yet ye have said, it is in vain to serve Yahuah, and what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before Yahuah of hosts, and now we call the proud happy. Yea, they that work wickedness are upset. Yea, they that tempt Yahuah are even delivered. And that's delivered over, not being delivered. You are delivered over. Thank you. It's just like what Romans 1 talked about, giving them over to the lust of their flesh. He said, and they that fear Yahuah spake often one to another, and Yahuah hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance. That's what people don't understand about what they doing and what they saying about the tithes. A book of remembrance. He's writing this stuff down. Writing this stuff down. Oh yeah, you said this? Okay. Creflo? He's writing this stuff down. Oh, you said what I didn't say about people needing to be shot? Okay. Write it down. Yeah, close the book. Open it back up when he do something else. You know what I'm saying? Or when he says something else that I didn't tell him to say. You understand? It was written before him, and them that feared Yahuah, right? He's talking about those that feared, those that said, well, I'm going to do it regardless. He said, bring it, I'm bringing it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He said, blessed are the cheerful giver. I'm going to find some cheer and joy from somewhere. I'm gonna muster up some cheer and joy from somewhere and make this thing right.
Ain't that what we did in the shelter? When you told us that
come on.
We couldn't.
And you told them we couldn't afford to not to?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We gonna muster up something from somewhere and give the way he said give it.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't hard.
And rolled out of there with them giving us.
Hold on, watch this. Erudite scholarships, right? The ones that's puffy, high-minded, always clenching their suits. It ain't hard. That's improper grammar. It ain't. Did you see that one TikTok where the dude broke down English language and told how what's that? He broke down grammar too. He said grammar was something I forgot, but it had something to do with spells.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I won't jump into that. I'm gonna keep on going because I only got 2 minutes left. So I'm gonna finish this. He said, and they shall be mine. The ones that fear will be his, said Yahuah of hosts. And in that day they will make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serves his father. Then shall you say, then shall you return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth Yahuah and him that serveth him not. And that's what we are doing right now. I can't read all that. My Deuteronomy 28:15 through 68. Those are outlines of all the curses that we are under right now, even after I said after the death, burial, and resurrection as proof that, as Pastor Trice said, shout out to Pastor Larry Trice, who said this. He said, no, you're not cursed because of the death, burial, and resurrection. He said, but you can't engage in the curse to reap the effects of the curse. He ain't said that much, but he just said you can engage in the curse. You understand? I'm saying that you can engage in the curse to reap the effects of the curse while you're still not cursed. So you won't be cursed, but you will reap the consequences of the curses still. Why? Because that is the law. Period. I got to stop it right there. I got so much more. Oh boy, I still like that one.
Is it going to be a part 3, or are we going to the last?
Well, do y'all have anything else?
Is there anyone else?
Troy.
No, I don't.
I have more, but I'm not going to. I'm going to say that was for the book because typically just outlining the dichotomy of that still engaging in the curse but Yahushua being the curse for us. Therefore, he did take on our curse. Don't get it twisted. He did take on our curse. So by that, we are not cursed as a people. But when you engage in the curse activity, you will, or curse, or the accursed actions, you still will get the consequence of the curse. It's a universal law. It's a law that's forever. You can't escape it. You can dress it up as you want. You can go to church all day, every day as you want. You can put your head in the sand and blind yourself to the actual facts as you want. You can say how the devil is just on your back and the devil surely is working. No, that's a consequence of a previous action. Now, I ain't saying the devil don't work, because he does. Matter of fact, that would be a parameter in which the devil would work. But the devil can't make you do anything. He doesn't make you do anything. All he do is put that suggestion right up in your ear for you to do opposite of what Yahushua said.
Yep.
The tithes is self-sustaining. It's to self-sustain the nation of Yasharal, a.k.a. i.e. so-called black people, so-called a.k.a. Afro-African Americans, Some people say the Mexicans, Latinos, and Dominicans and all this other stuff. Me, I don't go that far. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying I'm just dealing with our people. I'm dealing with our people. Go ahead.
You never answered my question.
What's that? What's that?
Are we having a part 3 or are we going to?
I just told you no. I mean, no, I didn't. You're right. I didn't answer your question. So, by the answers that y'all gave me, I would have thought you assumed it was no. But just to answer it,
Assume no more.
I got you. But that's just to answer the question. The answer is no. We are moving on to the next one.
The last one.
Glory be to Yah. Woo. We got through this whole thing. How many years?
Like
2 or 3 years. Yeah. Yeah. That's you know. Look, when this book come out, man, this book is gonna hit hard. Leave nobody with excuses. I don't care if you're a Hebrew Israelite. You still need to tithe. I don't care if you're part of a camp that don't tithe. You need to bring tithe into your camp. I don't care if you're a Christian. You need to tithe. You understand? If you subscribe to the scriptures, you need to tithe somewhere. You ain't got to tithe at your church. You could tithe. Well, most people would prefer you to tithe at the church you attend, but once again, that's organizational wise, and it would be more respectful if you did tithe at your church, at your camp, whatever place or organization you are engaged with or engaged in. But it is an instruction from the word. It doesn't matter what happens to it after it leaves your hand. You can just, if you are a follower or a so-called believer of this word, you should have one solace and one solace alone, that I did what Yahuah told me to do. That's right. You can't make up what you can't make up what he wants you to do. Who does that? No child does that. No child of nobody does that. You can't make up what you want to do and then say, well, I did what you said. Your parent will be, what? Pick up the paper off the floor. Well, I moved it. Okay? I moved it on the other side of the room. But I told you to pick it up. Okay? I don't want to see it. But I just moved it just so you won't have to see it as soon as you walk in.
I kicked it over here with my foot.
I put it under the bed. You know, that's what some of us kids we used to do that. No, so look. Look. I remember my toes cleaned up one time and cleaned the road. We tried, me and my brother thought we was slick. And we pushed all this stuff up under the bed, say the room clean, and we act like she wasn't gonna see the stuff up under the bed. And when we just got done too fast, and she was like, nah, get them clothes up under the bed. I said, what? We ain't got no clothes. Now we get the line. See what happened? See what happened when you being deceptive, when you trying to make Yahuah say something that he didn't say? After a while, you just gonna get the line.
You ain't got the line.
You ain't got a lot of kicking. Tell you that. Okay, what's the next one?
What is the everlasting covenant?
What is the everlasting covenant? That should be good.
That's gonna be like
that's gonna be the honcho. That's gonna be the
icing on the cake.
Yes, thank you. I was looking for the right words for it. That's definitely gonna be that. So,
and you're preaching for the next 2 Sundays.
I'm preaching for the next 2 Sundays. Those that catch this cast, catch me over at Jonathan Ray, whatever those numbers is at the end. I got sure don't know. It's like 3 something, 3-2, I guess. I don't know. I just when those numbers start popping up, that everything start closing in together. It's like what the hell, whatever. But catch me over at Jonathan Ray podcast, and Jonathan Ray YouTube, and we will see you there if you come. And we certainly thank everyone for engaging this long in this session. We thank you in advance for engaging this long in this study. This has been a very tasking and exhausting study. Make sure I put that in the book, an exhaustive study. Go ahead.
Jonathan Ray 3564.
35. Okay. 3564. Jonathan Ray, thank you, Sister Elder, for your diligence in pointing that and bringing that out over the air. Because I should know, but I definitely should know. I was like, how he gonna have his own video cast that don't even know the actual link to it? That's crazy. But we certainly think I work with some good helpers, just in case y'all don't know. You understand? So we do what we can do when we can do it.
Absolutely.
So I'm here with my fellow heirs. I'm Jonathan Ray, here with my fellow heirs,
Angel,
Adrian.
and I am the pastor of Aleph and Omega Church, giving you a sound. Hold on. Once again, keep your eyes out for the book Sacredness of the Tithes. It will be out shortly. I can't say how long it will be before it comes out. All I know is that the book is being worked on as we speak. So I would definitely give notice ahead of time before it comes out. Once it comes out, I will also give notice, and after it comes out, I will give reminders. So with that being said, we give you a solemn, may Yah bless you. May heaven smile upon you. This be our prayer for you.